So people have mentioned that maybe I seem a little angry about Rings of Power. And I think that that's maybe a little true. And it's not because I'm some Tolkien diehard who's so offended personally that they would bastardize Tolkien's work, although they are. I think part of it is actually because it started to remind me of my least favorite show in existence, Fear the Walking Dead. Anyone who's read my column for a while or has watched my YouTube channel will know I hate Fear the Walking Dead with a deep and abiding passion. But let's talk about some of the ways that the Rings of Power and Fear the Walking Dead are alike. I'm going to start with one that came to me as kind of a joke, but holy crap, it actually is true. So in the most recent couple of seasons of Fear the Walking Dead, the survivors are in Texas, and they come up against a bad guy named Teddy. Now, Teddy is a crazy serial killer guy, and he has this weird plan, right? He needs these keys for this nuclear sub that's been beached near Galveston, Texas. It sounds so silly when I say it. But he needs these two keys. Because you need two keys. When you turn them both at the same time, you can set off the nuclear sub's nuclear rockets, right? And Teddy's goal here is to destroy the world in a nuclear apocalypse, hide his own people in a bunker, and then they can come out and start anew. Fear the Walking Dead often has lunatics as bad guys in this show, and Teddy's one of them. So throughout this first the second to most recent season, there's a mysterious group trying to find this key that Morgan has, and eventually they get it, and at the end of the season they set off the nukes, and the nukes go out and blow up a bunch of Texas, and what's left is Mordor. No, basically what's left is a nuclear fallout Texas, right? Well, let's look at Rings of Power now. They introduce the show, and the boy Theo finds this mysterious hilt of a sword, which turns out to be a key. And when the bad guys turn it, it breaks it down, and the Mount Doom volcano explodes and turns the Southlands into Texas. Into Mordor. It is striking how similar these two plots actually are. What also unites these two shows, unfortunately, is the reliance on plot contrivances, on things being super convenient and easy. For instance, in Fear the Walking Dead, everybody has a fucking walkie-talkie. Everybody has a walkie-talkie at all times. I was thinking about this when all this came to me, but it's like the Fear the Walking Dead creators don't remember a time before cell phones, and therefore cannot write a show where people don't have easy access to one another at any time. I'm surprised they're not texting on their walkie-talkies. Which you could do actually with Morse code. But anyways, everybody has a walkie-talkie, so everyone can always get in touch with each other, except for when the plot demands that for some reason they're in like a dead zone, or the walkie-talkie isn't working, and then later they shake it enough and it starts working, you know? But people can always get in touch with each other, and they're always able to find each other, even in the vastness of Texas, even though it's the post-apocalypse and it's zombies, and there's not really means of communication like there are in the present world. Well, lo and behold, how does the Rings of Power work? People are able to find each other over vast distances at pinpoint locations without GPS, without really having perfect knowledge of the situation. And I talked about this in my last video. Halbrand and Galadriel and the Númenóreans are able to find the exact village at the exact right time to save the day, which is exactly the kind of contrived bullshit you find in Fear the Walking Dead. Fear the Walking Dead takes tons and tons of logical leaps. They have so many plot holes they couldn't fill them in 1,000 years. They just do what the plot demands, regardless of if it fits for the characters, regardless if it makes sense for the consequences of choices or actions within the show. They get from point A to point B in the plot, no matter what, and that is exactly what Rings of Power is doing. Rings of Power has a much bigger budget, much prettier world, much more production value. But at the end of the day, these two shows are doing a lot of things very similarly, and that pisses me off. It pisses me off because honestly, man, honestly, the Rings of Power has a rich source material to draw from. It has $1 billion. It is the most expensive big budget TV show ever made, and yet they can't write a script that's better than Fear the Walking Dead. It has the same cringy dialogue. It has the same flat and undeveloped characters. It has the same sort of structure with its branching storylines and timelines that don't make sense. I like it more because it's got, hobbits and magic, and it's got Durin and Elrond, and some nice stuff is going on in there. The Stranger's interesting. But honestly, it's so goddamn similar that I am kind of flabbergasted just talking about it. I don't know. What do you think? Do you see that? If you've watched both shows, do you see what I'm talking about? Not just the weird coincidence of the key and the nuclear bomb / volcano. It looks like in the image of Galadriel, she's like in a red world now, and it's just like the Fear the Walking Dead. Their world's like yellowish orange. They got similar heroes too. Like Morgan is insufferable. Everyone thinks he's great, but he's insufferable. And Galadriel is like just the same kind of leader, just totally myopic, completely focused on whatever they want to do. In Fear the Walking Dead, it's like, I got to help people to make up for all the bad I've done. And over here, it's like, we must find the enemy. Why can't you stop? Because I can't. There's a tempest in me. I want to see Morgan say, there's a tempest in me. I could see it. I could see it working there. So, anyways, yeah, let me know what you think. Like, subscribe. We're almost at 9,000 subscribers here. And then it's just like a quick step and a jump to 10,000. And then 100,000. The sky's the fucking limit, man. Yeah, thanks for watching. Peace.